हेलो दोस्तों, कैसे हो? मेरे इस YouTube चैनल में आपका स्वागत है। पहला लेक्चर है व्हाट इज मीन बाय डिजाइन, या डिजाइन का मतलब क्या है, डिजाइन क्या होता है।
Here, the word is design. Now, what do you mean by design? Design means to take decision. Design means to take decision. Smallest example of this is to make a tea. You all must have either made tea or you know what is the procedure of making tea. What do you do in tea? There is water, there is tea, there is sugar, and then there are added elements. As we add elements in steel, we are adding elements in tea also. Some powder, some type of powder, sometimes ginger, sometimes leaves, something like that. And then there is gas also. It is heated. It is heated. So when you are making a tea, the tea will actually the tea will be either good or it will not be good. The taste of the tea will be good or it will not be good. So on what parameters it depends that the taste of the tea is good? The proper combination of sugar, tea, water, heat, and added elements. So you are taking the decision that in order to make 1 cup of tea, you have to add half teaspoon of sugar, maybe half teaspoon of tea. Oh, I forgot milk. You have to add half cup of milk, something like that. So this decision that you take is called as design. So what I have designed? You have designed a cup of tea. You have designed a cup of tea. So the smallest or the easiest word that defines design is to take decision. To take decision. Then now you can extend this to anything. You can extend this to anything. Now if I quickly extend this to a centrifugal pump. A centrifugal pump. Then what are the various parts in the pump? There are flanges, then there are bolts, then there is motor, then there are pipes, then there is welding, and not many things. Okay, now considering all this, you will get a centrifugal pump. So on design of flanges, if I talk about design of flanges, then you have to select what decision you have to take. ऐसा तो नहीं ना कोई भी फ्लैंज उठा के लगा दिया और पंप बन गया, नहीं. You have to decide on the material of the flange. You have to select on the dimension of the flange. You have to select on the number of holes. You have to select the position of hole. Then you have to select on the factor of safety that you have to keep for making the flange, and much more things. So you are taking, each time you are taking a decision. Okay, what should be the material of the flange? What should be the dimension? How many holes should be there? What should be the position of the hole? How close it should be to the edge, or how away it should be from the edge? Because if you talk about a flange, then a flange will have holes like this. Okay, then you have to take decision of how much should be the distance of the edge of the flange, both the edges, outer edge and inner edge, from this hole, and what should be the spacing of this hole. So every moment you are taking decision, okay. Sometimes the decision is taken by the knowledge, and sometimes the decision is taken by using some equations. It's not every time necessary that you are taking decision by just by the knowledge that you have. You cannot take the decision that okay, the size of this hole should be say 8 mm, or this inside diameter of this flange should be 12 mm, or say 25 mm. You cannot take that decision. For this purpose you have to do some calculation. You have to use some equations. But then to select the material, there is no equation which material you will select. For that you will need have prior knowledge. So every time what you are doing, you are taking some decision. So what is basically design? Design is to take decision. Okay. Now this is a one element, flange is one element, motor is another element, pipe is another element. So what I said, this is design of machine element. Design of machine elements. So what are the elements? All the parts in a product that you will design is design of machine element. Now this product is a machine product. Okay, and design means to take decision, and I will say design means to find dimensions also. Why I am saying dimensions? Because I told you that if you want to select the shaft diameter, shaft कितना diameter का use करेंगे, so you cannot take decision here. Shaft diameter I will take 10 mm, or shaft diameter I will take 25 mm. You have to find it by some or other method. So that method is by using equation. You will use some equation to find the shaft diameter, and then you will be able to tell, okay, the shaft diameter is this much. So you have to take decisions. Design means to take decision. Design means to find dimensions. Now, these are not the only two things meant by design. This is correct. This is correct, and this is sufficient. But this is the old scenario. Old scenario means 50 साल पहले की बात है, 30 साल पहले की बात है. Nowadays, this is not sufficient. There is another thing which is called as aesthetic. Aesthetic का मतलब होता है appearance. Appearance of the product. If you go to buy a washing machine, for example, washing machine, or you go to buy a refrigerator, or if you go to buy a bike, बाइक छोड़ दो, बाइक में तो कुछ ऐसा ऑप्शन नहीं होता है देख के हम चेंज करेंगे. इफ यू गो टू बाय सपोज लैपटॉप, or if you go to buy a mobile, so if you go to purchase part like this mobile, so you will also go with the appearance of the mobile. You will also go with the appearance of the mobile. अरे ठीक है, मोबाइल में बहुत फंक्शंस है, ऐसा है वैसा है, इतना कैमरा है उतना कैमरा है, वो सब है, लेकिन दिखता अच्छा नहीं है. Yeah, so you will not purchase that mobile. So aesthetic is nowadays becoming very much important in design. So earlier how many things were there? The first is the design decision, second is the dimension. Nowadays aesthetic is playing important role in design of the product. You have designed the product, but how it appeals to the customer, how does it looks to the customer. Even in cars that are manufactured nowadays, you must have seen that much stress is given on aesthetic. कार कैसे दिखता है बाहर से, उसका कलर कौन सा होना चाहिए, मेटेलिक कलर होना चाहिए, फिर उस पे कर्व जो रहता है बाहर से. ओके, सो एस्थेटिक, दैट इज अपीयरेंस. एंड द फोर्थ थिंग दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट नाउअडेज इज ergonomics. Ergonomics, what is mean by ergonomics? Ergonomics means ease of operating, ease of sitting, or something like that. For example, you are holding a mobile phone in your hand, and suppose the width of the mobile phone is more than say 20 mm. Thickness of the mobile phone is say 80 mm. So then that will not be convenient for you to hold in one hand. Most of the time we hold mobile phone in one hand. For the example, the pen that you use, if the diameter of the pen is too big, okay, then you will have to hold the pen by using your entire hand. You cannot hold it in finger. Then it will not give proper grip. If you are sitting in a car, and if the roof of the place between the seat and the rooftop, if the place is not sufficient enough for a tall man to sit, or if the pedal is too away from the seat, so that a short height person is not able to reach his foot to the pedal, then it is not properly designed. If you are sitting on a chair, then the chair should be properly designed such that you feel convenient to sit for a longer period of time. Okay, that is ergonomics. It should be ease, it should be convenient. It should be convenient to handle. For example, if you are operating a lathe machine, and if you are standing here, operating a lathe machine, and if you want to start and stop the machine, and that stopping and starting handle is somewhere here, which is beyond your reach, then it is not properly designed. It should be ergonomically designed, means it should be conveniently within the reach of the operator. Operator should be able to reach to the entire parts. Okay, so this is the fourth aspect, that is ergonomics. So I have told you four aspects of design. The first is to take decision. You have to take decision on various things when we are designing. We have to just to summarize. You have to take decision on the material that you are going to use. You have to take decision on the factor of safety that you are going to use. Now when you are taking decision on material, suppose you are selecting a particular material that should be available, that should not be costly, that should be that should have high strength, that should, if the part is to be used in corrosive environment, then you have to select material accordingly. So that is the first thing that you have to choose. That is, you have to make decision on material. You have to make decision on the manufacturing method also. Then the second thing that I have told you about design is to find a dimension. You have to find dimension of some of the parts. You cannot take decision on dimension. The third important thing that I have told you is aesthetic. If your product is very good, if your product is very good and it is not aesthetically appealing to the customer, customer will not take the product. So aesthetic is very important. And this fourth part, ergonomics, it is understood when the product is used. It may not be understood while purchasing the product कि ergonomics कैसा है इसका, but then it is important if you want more customer to purchase the particular product. So ergonomics comes at the end. So there are four. These are the four things which are important when you talk about design of anything. So lately these have been added: aesthetic and ergonomics. So till here, I think I am clear to all of you. I have not started the syllabus yet. I am just telling you what is the meaning of the word design here. And I have also told you what you mean by elements. Elements are various parts, and machine is what you know. Machine is, a fan is also a machine. A centrifugal pump is also a machine. A lathe is also a machine. But a lathe will be called as a machine tool rather than calling it as machine. We'll call lathe as a machine tool. You see, lathe is a machine tool, whereas fan is a machine. Okay, so understand the difference between machine and machine tool. Machine tool is machine, but then we perform some operation on it and we get some result. Like we are removing material from the lathe is a machine, milling is a machine. All these are machine tools. Lathe, milling, shaping, drilling, all comes under machine tool. And here we are talking about machine. So machine tool is also a machine. So if I draw a here, this is machine, and machine tool forms a part of machine. So machine tool is also included in machine. So this is the introduction about the subject. Now you have understood that how important the subject is, because even a small part, if it fails, even if a small part fails, the product may not be usable. So design engineer has to be very much efficient in designing the part. He needs to have knowledge of thermal also. Why thermal? When you are designing a part which is subjected to heat, either because of friction or because of some heat is supplied, whatever, then you need to know what are the thermal changes that happens in the design of the material. What are the thermal changes happen in the life of the material. So thermal is also important. Manufacturing is important because you should know how the part is to be made. So that's why nowadays whenever a product is designed, a part is designed, that time generally different people teams sit and they together design the product. It's not only the design engineer who design the product. Along with the design engineer, there are the other process engineer, product engineer, then manufacturing engineer, the person who is related to cost, sales. All those are involved when a particular product is designed.
Thank you for watching.